Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final day of the AcadArena University Alliance Cup. Now, last week we said congratulations to two teams, Mapua Makati's MGS Clubs and NU Paradigm Esports, and they will be advancing to the promotional tournament happening in 2 weeks' time. Today, though, we will find out who will be joining them at a shot at making a run all the way to the top of Division A. Ladies and gentlemen, this is UAC. This is Collegiate Philippine Valorant. And once again, we are your broadcasters, Renaissance and Saifu. Saifu, what a tournament leg we've had thus far, man.
You know what? It's quite crazy. As you said last week, we did have a lot of games. By a lot of games, I meant 3. Both teams took it to overtime, right? Both teams took it to game number 3. It was quite tiring for all 4 teams. But as you said, there were 2 teams that came out ahead and are qualified to go for that promotion or have that promotional spot. That is MGS Clubs and Paradigm Esports. Now, those who lost last week, those were Apex Miracles, FEU Apex Miracles, and PLM Haribons. Now, we were supposed to start earlier. It was supposed to be DLSL Ignis going to be going against PLM Haribons. But unfortunately, it was defaulted. And but don't worry, Ignis, who defaulted, who had their pro players in the team, unfortunately had the same tournament time for PPGL qualifiers today. So Ignis defaulted and are still have a chance. More on that later. But right now, as we're going into it, PLM Haribon have that slot, and Romanson Gaming and FEU Alabang Apex Miracles will be fighting it out here. What are your thoughts, Renaissance?
I'm super excited for this game simply because, we've seen how evenly matched I think these two teams are. And the storylines that this one has, I guess, first and foremost, I just found out. Did you know that Vernst on FEU Alabang was a CSB student?
Wait a minute.
His alma mater, former alma mater, ano ba siya? Double agent pa siya.
Double agent?
Natin. But the game is starting and going underway, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, as Saifu was mentioning, there will be a sort of unprecedented consolation tournament tomorrow because of a slot that was opened up in Division A. Unfortunately, USA, the University of San Agustine's roster had a couple of issues and ended up with a forced relegation. So now there is a new slot. And that means DLSL, Ignis, and whoever loses here basically have a second life, which means more Valorant, more fun. This will be happening off stream though, but definitely stay tuned to AcadArena LG Esports to get updates on that. But Saifu, we are in already. Our first game, and the pick is picked by Apex Miracles, and they are going to be attacking.
Yes, and as we're seeing here, there will be a Sage on both teams. You have to have that wall. Either you put it in mid, or you put it high in male, or you put it deep in mid. It's very, very important. It changes the course of the game. As we're seeing the difference in Sentinels, in smokes. So for the side of FEU, they do have that KJ. On the side of CSB, they do have that Cypher. And for the smokes, Tsunami on FEU will be going for that Brimstone, and Lost Boy from CSB will be going for that Omen. Now, what's interesting for me here is the difference
Select
in
your
amount
agent.
of duelists, right?
True.
So the Courtesy from CSB will be going for not a duelist, but an initiator. He will be going for that Breach. I almost called him Brimstone. You know how they look alike, as FEU Apex Miracles will be going for a double duelist setup, which is very strong. Raze and Sage on the mid is really strong, and they have Blade going for the Phoenix right there. But as we're talking, we'll head into the game, guys. Ang bakbakan na to, CSB versus FEU. Dito nyo lang mapapanood sa AcadArena UAC, powered by Globe.com, Twitch Student, Riot Games, and Coolback 2.0. So, without further ado, let's start this game.
My gosh, Saifu, the storylines on that have developed throughout this tournament. I can't believe it's our last game for Division B, but I'm so excited to see how far these teams will go, especially for those who will be qualifying for that promotional tournament. But this game, though, split. Looking at the lineup right now, my eyes are on ice. He has played 100% of the matches he's had so far in Division B on his Killjoy. So the amount of impact he's gonna have is definitely something to watch out for. But also on their side, I really want to see what Verns can do. We've seen him as sort of a flex player thus far. You know, he's played the Omen, he's played the Skin, he's on his Sage right now, and I think he's been one of the most high impact players in the tournament thus far. Has been, especially on his game at Haven against the MGS clubs, actually. Even though they lost that game, he showed how he knows and understands the game so much so that he can be right where his team needs to be, cutting off, picking up so much space, and looking to do it now as they push in to the mid control.
Yes, as you're saying, this is a very slow start. They are pushing into getting that mid control. It's not as important as getting the mid control in that, like, maps that say like Ascent, but everyone will be clumped up into events, so they will move back here. Lost Boy with a Paranoia out, ready to blind 1, 2, no, 3 people down to 8 health. Will be moving back, but will be spotted out by Tsunami, who gets the kill on Lost Boy. It's gonna be a 4v5 situation. Quite a slow start to this, but successfully they got the site. All 5 members are on site. No, sorry, 1 will be staying at Heaven, and now they have a good control over this A site. And the boom bot, alarm bot rather, will stay at A long, so they don't have to watch that. Now it's gonna be them. Courtesy is trying to go and move with their abilities right now. Flame Wall will be going in from stage as so many shots are being fired. We are seeing so many classics right here. Win and Kin, as Lucid finishes it off with a 3K on the Courtesy. Now FPU, Apex Miracles, had a slow start to that. They wanted to know where Cypher was, right? Yep. But when they found out that he was in B, they just went A. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'd like to point out lang, no? So, of course, going through vents, taking that A side. Unfortunate for Lost Boy, had such a great position on them with the blind, just couldn't get those shots to connect. But Agi threw down a wall on that CT side. Now, of course, I guess his thoughts was, okay, we want to take Screen's position here. We don't want to get flanked, but it also sort of prevented them from getting control of Heaven again and playing that retake, and they got funneled through Screens, and that I think was what got them that round, specifically for FEU there. But of course, that is just a pistol round. A little bit of an advantage here. Lucid with a quick 3-0 to start us off here. Of course, this is a Lucid was on stage for a couple of those games, but now shifting over to the duelist role. Him versus Quinn, this heads up raise battle. Sino ang mas magfa-flights dito, Cypher?
Well, I don't think it's too much of a flight. Kills. Oh my gosh, so many kills coming in on the side of FEU. Now it's gonna be a 5v1. It's all up to Lost Boy right here. They did go for that save, so it's their round to lose. But you know, even if you're saving, you want to be getting at least like 1 or 2 kills, just so only 3 people will be bonusing, and 2 people will have to upgrade, as a Flawless will come in from Blade, getting that wall bang 3K right now. Goodness, now it will be economically up.
Yep, for sure. I mean, that seemed just like a default B push there. Went through Garage, was able to establish a lot of control, couldn't get the contest on that. No, but going into this round, I'd love to see the adjustments that they make on the defender side for CSB. Looks like they have rotated Busta Wolf over to control that Heaven vents area a little bit more, anticipating learning from that first round that they can't just give that up.
What we're seeing here with the split is the 4-man push onto one side while the Killjoy holds the other. I've seen that a lot from a pro team that actually just won Masters in NA. I don't know if you know that team, but they're Sentinels and they've been doing that. And it seems like that's what's happening here. It's always going to be a Killjoy who is, as you said, Ice, very well versed in holding that Killjoy. As you said, 100% pick rate onto Killjoy, and yeah, he is going to be flanking, no, rather holding that flank for them. He does have that bot. He has a lot of utilities. Why do you think it's Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Push coming in as Kin will be killing Blade right there. They do have the gun advantage here. It's only a bonus right now for the attack main, or also known as the miracles right here. Curtis, he gets a kill on Tsunami. It's gonna be a 3v5 situation right now. Gun advantage too strong. I think Curtis gets kill on one, and that's what you want to be doing when you're on speed. You want to be getting at least one or two, trying to damage their economy while not really expecting the win right here as wait, that was weird. Haji went back a bit. Let his teammates die. Did you see that?
Baiting?
He baited a little bit. He saw that KJ and went back to unpeak. Even though the KJ was watching heaven. Unfortunately for them, I mean fortunately for Ice, he got the kill too before he was picked off by Achi.
Yeah, I mean, to continue that question prior, no,
Yeah.
I do think at this point they were able to control that heaven area really well. No, of course they did have the gun advantage there, but it was kind of an awkward push coming out from the side of FEU there. Probably not able to get that util. Blade was trying to use his curveball to get on side. We do hear a showstopper on the other side of the map though, as they are trying to push into the site. Lucid throwing it out on screen, pushing them out of that heavily contested area. Full rotation now comes in Saifu.
Yeah, right now it's basically
Going up.
we're really following right now. It's gonna be 5v5 still. A lot of abilities being used. Kin will get a kill on Ice as another kill comes in for Kin, getting Lucid. Better race, question mark, as Lost Boy will get a kill on Kin. So many people trading and killing. Very, very strong entry, or sorry, retake from the side of this defending team, Romanson Gaming. They fully gave it, no? And
Yeah.
just retook.
Yeah, I mean, they had a really fast push. Lucid trying to initiate there with the showstopper, but I really like what CSP did there. As soon as the retake happened, there was a wall that was put on screens there, but immediately circled around, controlled that heaven area, and swung the ramp and took main, and just 3-2-1 converged at the same time, and it was a quick retake from there. So very, very, very coordinated play out of CSB, and that's what they're known for. Throughout this Division B, a lot of our analysts have been saying this is probably the best team from a teamwork perspective, you know? So seeing it in full force there.
Yeah, as you were saying, they do have people who frag out, like Kin and Courtesy, and normally when you have someone fragging out, it's, you just rely on them all the time. But these gamers, they supplement them well. They do have their own styles and techniques on how
Got the
to
spike.
prevent their leads, or rather their aces, from dying, and how to supplement them and getting this dub. So Romanson Gaming, as you said, coming from a 2-0, and FEU coming from a 2-1. They lost 2-1 while Romanson Gaming won their 2-0. So right now I think Romanson Gaming has that little bit more morale, as they just 2-0 their last match, and FEU's coming from a loss. So we'll see here how that affects them.
Yeah, it's a really interesting point. No, I mean, I wonder what those grueling 3 games that FEU played did for their sort of mental here, as they do push into the side. Wall goes down onto that side of pillar, blocking any sort of entry, immediately get shot down. Tsunami trying to get the spike down, burn to a quick one tap on Busta Wolf on this eco is a really great way to start Twin though. In rather is able to find 3K already, pushing in really quickly from that heaven area, and is able to take them all down as Abby cleans it up. That's 3-2. It was an eco. Couple guns taken from Kin and Busta Wolf though, so let's see if that's gonna affect their next few rounds, especially as if you look at the ultimate economy, 4 ults up for both sides. The only difference is Lost Boy doesn't have the teleport, and Lucid does not have his show up.
All right, and right now it's gonna be 3-2. 3 wins so far in a row for CSP Romanson Gaming. So please go and show your support by going hashtag CSB win or FEU a win. Do you want to be putting an A or just FEU win? You know, we'll never know.
They're
We'll never know,
one
you know?
family, you know?
Yes.
But for sure, I mean, we've seen how the FU Alabang folks have really come in resoundingly in this tournament so far. Such a strong and loud community in the chat, so we love to see it. So keep that up, definitely, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going for another split position here. Something similar that we've seen out of FU on these attacker sides. Ice just so good at this A lurk. Fighting against two here, so Lost Boy and Busta Wolf will not be able to make those that rotation all the way around to attacker spawn side, being held by Ice there. As we see a little bit of a reflection from that first round again, looking to make that rotation onto A side. Through vents is Lucid and Blade.
Yes, sir. And now there will not be a Killjoy who will be lurking. Maybe they've been conditioned to know that the Killjoy is lurking, but they do have that lockdown up and ready. And the vents already pushed up, you know. They do have some tactical bagging over here.
30 seconds left.
They are prevented from moving in closer.
You should run.
Going up there, but moving, everyone moving in sync right here. The destroying of the trip and the ultimate, the lockdown command. But oh my gosh, so much happened. 13 seconds are left, so they are forced to into sight right here. 8 seconds. Kin gets a kill on Lucid, gets a kill on Ice, gets a 2K with a showstopper on Tsunami, and verse for a 4-2 lead for CSP Robinson Gaming. My goodness, Renaissance. Holy moly, that was insane.
I mean, Kin, that's textbook for him. He just flies through and dunks on them with that showstopper. But I mean, I know the lockdown from Ice, we called the ultimate economy before the round started. It pushed off a pretty sick crossfire that they almost had on Heaven. I'm surprised Blade did not use his run attack. He had it, and we saw that they were setting up for this big round, quick flash up from vents to take over that Heaven side, but it just nothing came of it, and sort of giving up that control on that, they just allowed for CSP to play that super well as they did and give Kin that show-stopping play as a little bit of action here onto the garage side as trades go out both ways. 4v4 situation now. Courtesy gets spotted by that Roomba and is forced all the way back and shifting his guts. Does he have two?
No. He was juggling because he didn't want the enemy team to be getting Kin's gun. They do know that they will be going for this economy econ buy, and they are on those 4 sheriffs right now as the trade did come in, as you said, onto garage. That was tough for Kin. He had the gun advantage, but sheriffs, as we have been known to see, like, it can win rounds. It's just the aim supremacy right here. So we'll see how they handle it as 4 people are moving or gravitating towards that mid, and it's always being given. We haven't seen a heavy wall mid yet. You know,
30
that's
seconds
something
left.
that we normally see in compet in a lot of matches. Like I said, walls do matter, and they've been always used somewhere else. Loose and the squad will be going in. The trades and Lost Boy will kill a so many things are happening. It's up to Tsunami to collect it. A 1v2, but Lost Boy will find Tsunami, and it's gonna be a 5-2. 5 rounds so far, consecutively won by CSB.
So hard to push onto that B side, especially since Busta, I guess, prepared for that rotation, had a setup there, and it allowed Lost Boy to rotate all the way around back from A to get a pretty sick flank on them from the stairs of Heaven. But you're absolutely right. You know, I am a tad bit surprised. We've seen Agi use his walls sort of as the push comes in. We saw him use it on, like I mentioned previously, you know, that wall into Heaven, blocking off screens. I think he did it again on another round, but there's the adjustment. Agi's like, okay, this is working so far for us, but I do think I should wall off this Heaven side, and that he does. The run back finally being used though on this buy round, as Lucid is able to get a pick onto the Heaven side on Courtesy drops there, and it is a 4v5 situation right now. Lucid though with the showstopper as well is able to tag one, barely scratches Agi on the corner, and it does look like he got disconnected though. Unfortunately, mid-round.
Oh goodness.
Almost clipped him there. So it's 2v for it now. This looks like a very, very clean round coming out of FU, but a little unfortunate. Lucid doesn't get checked there on Hell's side, and Fernt with the cleanup on Lost Boy. Pause coming in as Agi. Unfortunate disconnect, of course, with the internet problems that people have been having over the past few nights.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, you know, especially in these tournaments like this, you have to be using those tech pauses even if you're not, you normally don't. You normally use tech pauses when, let's say, the other team is getting momentum or something like that, but Agi unfortunately gets that DC right there. It was a good position there because he wasn't tagged or it barely scratched him, as you said. The showstopper missed him, and if he it would have been unchecked, right? Because when you use a showstopper onto that hell area, you wouldn't check it anymore because you've already killed one. So Agi could have had the potential to kill maybe one or two that were not possibly peeking it, but yeah, now it's gonna be 5-3. One round taken back. They have stopped the bleeding with an unfortunate DC on from Agi's side or CSP Roman Gaming
Ito
side.
na naman tayo sa mga DC.
Oo nga, mahirap eh. Last week it was a power problem. Now I believe it is an internet problem, but we'll see. We'll see, you know.
And no worries, folks. I mean, this is all part of the game. These are sportsmen at the end of the day, so I'm sure they're using this time to continue out playing out the strategy. And let's game it out there. So, what do you think? If FE was able to get around off their courtesy of that PC, how can they possibly continue on making this pressure?
Well, for the pressure, they do have the guns. You know, both sides will have that gun round or guns ready, and if FE loses here, they will have to move back and go back to Econ, right? They'll be going back to their sheriffs. So it's really still kind of safe here for CSB, right? They have the upper advantage na they have a cushioning behind them that if they lose this game, they will. If they lose this round, they will still have enough money to buy. But as we're seeing, they do have 3 ults up. Romanson Gaming's Lost Boy, Agi, and Busta Wolves have their ults up ready. And as we were talking about it, the man's back. Agi's back. Agi has finally reconnected. Thankfully, hindi sobrang tagal. Okay? Sometimes I've seen and I've heard that people who DC, you know, people who DC nowadays, they've been out for like 3-4 rounds before they could reconnect back. So luckily right now it took one small tech pause, and now we're back as a 5-man push will be coming into A.
Will be met though by Agi. So again, opting not. One of the times that he's not opting to wall in, it kind of works out a little bit perfect for him. Assuming he doesn't get caught out here, he doesn't get that slow for a little bit of deterrent. Doesn't look like they're going too hard here yet, as the rotations do come on, and this can get dangerous for the FEU side right now, as if they go in heavy onto this A side with the full 5-man squad there, especially with those ults up, it might not go too well for them, which is why you see them peeling off, going through sewers now, slowly but surely, trying to reestablish themselves mid, and a quick smoke from Lost Boy to give them a bit of trouble with that.
Yes, sir. They're just trying to go and check every angle. They're playing safe because as they were 5-man pushing into aid, someone could have been lurking. Someone could have snuck in and picked off 2 before dying. But that unfortunately didn't happen. Romanson Gaming playing back, playing a little bit safer. Did get that info that is someone B. I made rather, but played it to kill on Lost One. He was not sure that there was someone there or did not know. So now it's going to be a 3-man push into B.
30 seconds left.
They are in right now as the spike will be planted, and full control of B is now for FEU. This is crazy. Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah, tried jumping in there with the curveball onto ropes, gets shut down for it as Bus the Wolf is able to find who that's a huge pickup for him. Kind of hold it down here. Agi is able to find Tsunami Ice, holding this backside. Verns gets taken down by Curtsy, who have both pushed in. It's a 2v1 situation right now. Bus the Wolf almost falling through the swarm grenade, and the gun's taken down, but Curtsy, with a bit more of a wide swing there, is able to take down Ice and
hell of a job.
Take a round back for that DC. Good round from them, I guess. Looking there.
Question mark? He That was a ballsy play. he dropped down to 1. Did he time that swarm grenade? I'm so confused. Did he know it was ending? Cause I don't know. Did he have 10 health and drop down to 1? Just 1. Perfectly calculated. You know, CSP Robinson Gaming, you guys have the brains for this. And as I was saying a while ago, it was dangerous for them to lose. Speaking on behalf of FEU side, it was dangerous for them to lose. But watching it now, since they did have that spike planted, they do have the guns available. And Lost Boy will fall to ice. It is going to be a man advantage right now, but the ultimate Breach will be ready here for that. Oh! Abilities don't kill, they said. As the Kin gets a kill with the boombot and the paint shells right there. And it's going to be a 3v3 as Tsunami gets that straight.
Pushing in now, flying in there, the lockdown able to push them back, and Lucid is able to hold down that re-entry from Buster Wolf, and now they are completely on site at a 2v3 right now. Tsunami is still up with a couple of smokes to his name, so let's see how he's gonna play it out here. We have a bit of a split. Right here. 2 of them all the way pushed in the back of side of B, and 1 in garage. So great crossfire here, but that paint shells though is able to tag Ice there. Early damage here, clearing the corners as Quinn looking left as Agi looks right, and they get the perfect crossfire. Love to see it. Well-oiled machine, these two.
This whole team, as you were saying, right? This whole tournament, it's all about team play. Goodness, Agi and Kin, great. They worked like they were part of just one body. You know that?
Yeah.
Like it felt like they didn't even talk about it. They were just like, okay, muscle memory. You're gonna check left. I'm gonna check right. Boom. Crossfire, great showing there on the side of Romanson Gaming. 7-3 right now. This is kind of a defense-sided map, honestly. For me, for my experience, what do you think about it? Is it an attack-sided for you?
I think it depends on the composition, definitely. A lot of people play these sort of heavy aggression lineups to great effect on split, you know, really exploding onto the side, especially A side, swarming ramps, taking heaven, and then screens. But as you can see, if you also have a really great defensive lineup, it can swing that way, especially with, we talk about it a lot, sort of how Raze is also a defensive duelist with the util coming into play there. The controller heads head-to-head here. Interestingly, coming into the favor of an Omen who you would think has a bit of a disadvantage on this map. We saw him use the ultimate, a little bit less impact because of everything sort of just tight corners, right? But it is working for them. Tsunami puts out these smokes really early, right? And isn't able to have it when they actually push onto the side, which gives Omen the advantage here because of sort of the infiniteness of the smoke. As a big push comes in, Buffalo with his pants down, as if they knew, FEU knew that he was there. Quick explosion onto that heaven area from vents, all 5 of them jumping on that rope. As Blade though checking back there as the brunt, actually the entirety of this retake is coming on from heaven and screens right now. He's trying to establish control. Wow! Quinn is able to find just a little bit of a hair of ice behind that box. Showstopper though flying through, isn't able to catch one, but Blade was hiding in vents the entire time, is able to find Quinn. Curtsy trades him out, however, 3v3 situation right now as they split around the map. Lost Boy though, establishing control of screens. 2v1 now as the enemy remaining. Stick. 1v1 Lucid, 9 HP on the Dream, has the pain shells, pushes him off that spike. Right. He tries to go for 3 sticks. I don't know what Andy was trying to dodge.
Last round before the switch.
Tripped over his feet a little bit as it went boom. Cypher.
What happened there? Oh my goodness gracious. Lucid with a clutch right there. That's their kill leader. 13 kills on the side of Lucid, and Kin battling out with 14 kills. But we have to talk about that. That was not a good decision making on the side of CSB Romanson Gaming. They did have the man advantage right there. They had the 2v1, but lost it. They lost it with a stick there. Lucid playing with his abilities, and that was his win. But that was more of a CSB's loss. You know, it was their decision making that lost them that, and it was Lucid just played with what he had. He used his paint shells, could have been killed. He did have 9 health, and right now it's gonna be 7-4.
Cover going
FU
out.
taking it back onto this last round before we switch our sides. 3 ultimates ready for the side of FU. Has that Tsunami ultimate, Blade ultimate, Vern's ultimate, 3 ultimates there, and Kin and Aji will have those ultimates. Now, slow start. Always mid control, always being given to FEU. But
Joke's
it's been
over.
working for them,
You're
right?
dead.
CSB's been working with that mid control, and right now they're gonna be pushing into that B side. That's what's get kill on Lucid. The ultimate will fall down. Lost Boy will get a kill first. The Tsunami will get a kill on Lost Boy. Too many trades coming out here. 4v3, 14 seconds. They still have time to rotate, but I'm not sure they will be going for that.
Lost Boy doesn't get checked on that 50-50 angle and is able
30
to find
seconds
two,
left.
and that is not the push that they were looking for, especially with that run back being used. Vern's unfortunately not able to get that res out, and this looking like an 8-4, but that's okay. You know, Tsunami throwing out the orbital strike to clear out that area and maybe give them enough space. Blade is able to find Buster Wolf. That's the second time he did that, knowing exactly where he might be. Kin not able to find the showstopper, but does get the crash Phantom as Aji is able to take down Blade on that site there. A little bit of a zero value eco res just to get it out of the way. And that is 8-4 for the favor of CSB Romanson Gaming.
Yes, sir, really. And great
Switching
retake once
sides.
again from Romanson Gaming. They are having the upper hand in all those retakes. Is it because the utilities are being used when entering? Like FU just straight up uses all their util, right? So they can't defend the side. They don't have the post plan for it. But we'll see. We'll see 8-4 right now. We'll see how they fare in defending. For me, it is good for them to defend because they have a raise. They have that. They have 3 mollies. They have that Brim, they have the Phoenix, they have the Killjoy, so it works in tandem with the slow orb of ECH. Also, the pinch shells will work in tandem with it, so there's a lot of possibilities here, especially in those tight corners, as a 5-man push will be awaiting that Brimstone in that place here in A. It's gonna be 2v5 for A.
Yeah, see the difference in the aggression here. Like we said, with a more aggressive lineup, they're able to swarm onto this ramps area a little bit quicker, but a very, very well-timed rotation out of FEU here. Straight, immediately, they hear the push, they already can assume this is going to be a 5-man, they rotate through fence, and it's re-established control, and that is enough to deter the push from CSB as they look to reposition themselves here. A lot of util being wasted, paint shells being thrown out there, a good couple of smokes as well. Tsunami had to expend a lot there, so that might affect their retake potential here, or at least how he holds down this A site from another imminent push. A little bit of a pump fake there, a little bit of a pump fake from CSBs as they're creeping into this site now.
Yep, and yeah, very weird-ish play right here, but Tsunami will get a kill on to Kin and Aji. So
30
there was a
seconds left.
reset right there. They did go for the reset, and they still have enough time to push in. The attackers are down E-man right now.
Yep.
And I told it.
Last player
Get a kill on
standing.
Lucid, but will be straight waiting on. Oh no, right clicks. Both of them are reloading, but the retake right there on the side of FEU. Really great job.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, number one, of course, Tsunami with 0 util was able to just hide behind that little plant there and a little bit of shrubbery, giving him the opportunity to take down 2 on a frenzy. And that's not what you want, right? Especially if you're pushing on this A site with the lineup that they have. The idea is that they're able to immediately push into screens and stop that rotation from CT side. But was it got picked off there? Really great defender round from the side of FEU, and 8-5 is the scoreline as we enter this final half of the first game for final day, Saifu.
Oh my goodness, it has been good, guys. This has been Division 2. Very, very exciting gameplay. Heroes Cool Kid, who wanted to go and do some flights gameplay using 2 of his satchels just to be met by an ice wall right there with Lucid waiting with the boom bot pushing in. But as I was saying a while ago, you know, with so many mollies in their lineup, they just prevented the whole push from A a while ago. There was the ground was burning in ramps and in A main push, so it was hard to grab. Here's Blade gets a kill on Kim and will respect that and move back. Will use a flash right there, but will have to reload. That Lost will get a kill on Blade. It's gonna be a 1. No, sorry, 2 V4 situation
down
as Tsunami
A.
gets a kill on Lost by
One
Will.
enemy
There you
remaining.
go.
Meeting another one on Ag. And one
five.
will be on site. And Tsunami
Bingo.
will just finish him off. 8-6. Goodness me. Oh, close game, huh?
A little bit of a close game there. Of course, they had the gun disadvantage. CSB was at a gun disadvantage, but I think you are 100% spot on. As much as, they had better guns, you could see how the utility on the defending FEU side makes it so hard to push anywhere. You go into A through main. There's a molly and a bunch of smokes waiting for you. You go through vents. There's a curveball waiting for you in a blaze, and then there are paint shells and walls in your face. Like,
Right there.
I don't know if CSB needs to adjust and bait out these utilities a little bit more. That does seem to be the adjustment that they're making, but it is tough for them, Saifu. And that being said, they do have their guns now. Blade has run it back for a retake potentially, however, so that is something to look out for as the change-up is. Let's try to take mid-control and figure it out from there. As the smoke comes through from heaven, probably going to try to take Vent's control here as we do see Bucks the Wolf on his lonesome, sort of lurking on that A side, probably expecting that push in. And there we go, Tsunami again using those early smokes on his brimstone, trying to deter any hard commitments from CSB, and it's working.
Yes, sir. And as we're seeing, it's always going to be the Sentinel who will be lurking, and he'll make sure that there will be no one there. And as you said, it is a bonus round for the side of FEU. So they're wanting to be, well, ultimately you want to be winning the round, right? But
30
want to be
seconds
getting
left.
at least 2 to 3 kills just for the economy of the CSB Romanson gaming side, who have those rifles out and ready, will hurt so much, right? Preparing for their next buy round. As Blade and Loose will get a knife coming in for Aji on the Blade.
down
It's 10
A.
seconds. Will be left. Will get a Tsunami. Will have enough time. It's
Last
2v2
player
situation right
standing.
here. Last player will be. He has to stick this. Oh my goodness. Ice and
Wow.
Burn. It's up to
0.5
them.
seconds.
Oh my gosh. Courtesy does get a kill in. As I was saying, this is already a win for FEU side, but they may even get a better win by getting the round. So we'll see how. Let's see how this plays out.
One enemy
Getting a
remaining.
headshot on Ice right here. Will be coming in. Ooh, yes, sir! Courtesy gets a kill on Verns and salvages that round. Saves that round. Clutches that round from FEU's great hold.
Yeah.
Goodness, that hurt. That did hurt the economy of the side of CSB. They will not. They'll force their guns here with low armor. They will be low armor buying with the guns right here. Renaissance, my God, a knife kill in that round.
That was so funny. I mean, Blade did sneak through those smokes a little unchecked, was able to pick 2, which made that push for CSB harder than I think it should have been. I guess it was lucky that Curtsy was able to get that ult up. Probably made the difference there, no? But nevertheless, able to get sneak in a knife kill is always fun to see, especially with that fan, that celestial fan, sort of knocking that metal bull on his head is always great. But nevertheless, 9-6 is the scoreline now, and you are right. They are opting for a forced buy here with half armor. I was talking to another really great player named Aldershot the other day, and he was saying that especially when your opponent has guns that will one-tap you anyway on a headshot, it's actually okay to go for these half armor buys. So we'll see how that comes into play as an ultimate does come out from Lost Boys, sneaking all the way to the back of the side, gets unchecked, is able to find Burns on the back line, and suddenly they're able to push into this site. It is a 3v2 situation right now as the orbital strike from Tsunami comes out, and it's able to find Bust the Wolf on the
enemy
plant
remaining.
with his dying breath, gets the spike down as Curtsy, though, able to find Tsunami there on Heaven, and Lucid needs to play for these 1v1 situations right now.
One enemy
He's able to
remaining.
get one, See if he checks. Hell yeah, Lost Boy waiting for him. Oh! And Lost Boy
Ouch.
clips his feet there on the flight. I'm curious, do the corpses fly if you're satchel packing and you get shot down?
I think that's what happened right there. So I didn't see his corpse die. He was in like the split second of activating his satchel. He was shot down. So man down. As a T-pause will come in from the side of FEU, right? You are down 4 rounds.
Yep.
You were trying to get those 2 wins in the start of the half, but CSP or the enemy team has control again. So they have to go eco here, and I think the technical pause right here is the right decision to do, or is the right thing to do.
For
But
sure.
let's talk about that decision in sticking the plant rather than living, right? They weren't pressed for time, right? They weren't pressed for time, but he just wanted to stick that spike plant rather than living. Because if he canceled it and just moved out, he would have lived. So would you take the spike plant, or would you rather have the man advantage? For me, I would rather have the man advantage right there, because you can just plant again. You weren't pressed for time.
I wasn't able to see it from his perspective. I don't know if Tsunami maybe just had like a really great position there and sort of Bust the Wolf in that split second was like, oh crap, even if I stick this, I'm probably gonna take a bunch of damage. If I do remember correctly, he was on around 90 health. So even running in one direction on that radius probably would have clipped him still nevertheless. So hard to say. But you're right, that could have been a very costly situation if that wasn't the case, right?
Yeah, that was a 1v1 after, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that could have been a 2v1. So that's what I was saying. Like, it was dangerous, but they pulled it off. They got that win. Props to Tsunami for making it at the center.
Yeah.
You know, he got it at center. It's what made Buster Wolf be like, you know what? I'm gonna die.
For sure. But I mean, that is a really crucial round for CSP to win. Again, we were talking about it. They did force buy there, and it paid off, and it actually resulted in FEU now getting forced into an eco, and it is a 10-6 now. And of course, you know, with these Buckies in hand, we never know what might happen. But if this goes to an 11-6, this gap is suddenly getting wider and wider. We've had 2 rounds go the side of FEU, and then now 2 rounds on the side of CSB. So here we go, another little bit of a faster commitment onto the A side here, with Blade and Lucid already rotating over with those Buckies, trying to get a quick pick onto Satis. But Wolf is able to find Ice. The Neural Theft able to reveal the locations of where everyone is with Lost Boy. Though, look at Lost Boy's position, might be able to catch them off guard here on Heaven. Was late to the party on this push, held that mid angle, and this could be costly for them. As Courtesy is able to find one. Blade is unable to get the free frag onto him, as Verns and Tsunami trying to push out this area now, breaking down that wall. Buster Wolf waiting for them though, gets buckied in the face. 2v4 situation right now, but Lost Boy again from that late lurk rotates all the way over and down, taking them. I mean, it was an eco, so let's see what they're able to pull out of that right now, especially with the run it back and the lockdown. Arguably the 2 most crucial tactical ultimates on their side right now.
Yes, sir. I totally agree with you there. There will be an ultimate advantage for the side of FEU. They do have those 2 ults, as you said, lockdown and the run it back. But 2 people from the side of CSP are just 1 point away. Agi and Courtesy. Courtesy with that ultimate on his breach. Very, very great for that entry. So I think he'll be the one he'll be the one getting it. Yes, he will, as he is now ultimate ready. Will be having only 1 person holding B. Oh no, this will be tough for Tsunami if they do decide to full attack onto that site. But as we're seeing here, a 4-man push will be meeting Verns. Will Verns get some cheeky kills here? Will be checked by who has that bigger advantage. Gets a kill on Verns, and that's 1 man down. 4-5, ladies and gentlemen.
Big rotation there from Vern's trying to get that position, taking so much space as the ult from Curtsy comes out, doesn't clip anyone, but does establish control of this B side as Tsunami being pushed in from all fronts, almost takes down Kin, but is not able to. Ice though with the lockdown. Here we go. The two ultimates really powerful on a retake. Run it back and the lockdown. As Curtsy though makes an aggressive play and is able to shut down Blade. Really great flash there. Gets one from the crossfire, but isn't able to check the other. As Lucid now though, caught in between Quinn and Lost Boy. One from Garage, one from Heaven, goes for the stick, gets caught in the shoulder, goes for the stick. Bros don't fake.
Stick. Question mark?
Trying to get it here. It's so hard for him to get, and it's just a quick jiggle from Lost Boy.
That was so great coming in from the side of CSB Romanson Gaming. Pushing in to that alleyway. You know, Blade and Ice had the proper positioning there, but that Breach flash, goodness me, the flashpoint there coming in from Breach had them blind, and they were able to push down that lockdown to break it, and FEU now are in danger of losing game number 1.
They are. It is match point here, and they're on an eco. I mean, I think that round was telling of what this game has been, especially on attacker side for CSB, wherein even if they're in a post-plan situation, they don't just defect into sort of defensive positions. They are able to actually aggress onto the retakers, and that is something I think we didn't see too much out of FEU. No, might have been the difference maker in a lot of these rounds here. Nevertheless, though, still a little bit of glimmer of hope here for FEU on this defender side. Blade, who has the one gun, rather one of the two guns, Tsunami on the other side, has a great position on this push. If he's able to find even more than one, would be the difference maker. But immediately with the resurrection out from Agi there, taking that numbers advantage away from them. That's Ice. Forced to beat Roomba there. And this is looking like it's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Lucid though, with a great flank. Let's see what he can do. Tsunami from Heaven is able to take down 2, however. Suddenly,
this might not be all she wrote, Renaissance. This might be combat, or what may start that combat. A great hero play coming in here. Lucid gets a kill on Lost Boy. Now it's gonna be a 3-1. Agi gets a kill on Lucid, and Tsunami saves this round. 2 kills coming in from Heaven, and the last kill on Agi will save this round. Save this game. So match point is for CSB Romanson Gaming. Tsunami was like, no. We're taking you guys. We're gonna try to take you guys to overtime.
Jeez, Tsunami making me eat my words there with a quick 4K. I mean, it looked like it, right? Especially with that push in.
It did. It definitely did.
With the numbers advantage, but ayun lang, they weren't able to check Heaven. They were not able to check Heaven. I think they were looking at different positions there as the spike was going down, and Tsunami took advantage of that with 2 quick headshots on them as they were on site out in the open, and then just cleans it up. Wow. And now he has this orbital strike, so suddenly you're absolutely right, Saifu. This game is not too over yet. With a quick push though from Kin saying, wait, I want this to end here. Burns nearly taking him down with that, oh no! Lucid!
Also the pain shells. I mean, gets the pain shell kill on Kin, right? So he was hyper aggressing, fell down to 30 health, if I'm not mistaken, by that Sage, or by Verns rather, and was picked off by the paint shells. Now it's gonna be an even 4v4. No ultimates in from the side of Romanson Gaming. This is still a buy round for them, even though they lost. They did have that streak coming in, a 4-round streak, but was ended by Tsunami's gameplay a while ago. So now it's gonna be up to FEU to play with their 2 ults. Tsunami's ultimate, also that run it back, still hasn't been used by Blade. Right, we've been waiting for him to use it for the past 3 rounds. No, rather 2 rounds, but he hasn't been using it yet.
No hard commitments here, understanding the precarious position that they're in. Of course,
30 seconds left.
They're up 12-7, but we've seen how FEU, especially in their games against last week against MGS, they're able to string these wins together, right? So playing a little bit careful, very slowly creeping in on this Raptors, and immediately Agi with a very
10
aggressive
seconds
ball,
left.
cutting that corner away. Blade, though, is able to find Lost Boy in the back. Orbital strike going down, and there's the adjustment.
No!
That Hughes to make.
There's not enough
It's
time.
not
There's
enough
not
time.
enough time. Indeed. Oh my goodness.
One enemy remaining.
Really
Agi
heads up
did
play.
disconnect here. Oh no. Oh no. Wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a
You're right.
minute. Uh-oh. This is tough for
You're right.
CSP because now
Yeah.
they're gonna opt to go for a broken bike, while FEU, who is hot right now, still has that run it back, has a showstopper, no ult for Romanson Gaming. Attack tech pause will be coming in because Agi did disconnect. So they're CSP Romanson Gaming are down a man
Yeah.
if they have to play this out, right? If he doesn't disconnect. They're already at match point. This is what you hate to see. Oh my gosh.
True. I mean, based on rules, they do have about 20 minutes total of this tech pause. I mean, production will correct me if I'm wrong there. So there is a bit of buffer time. But what was funny is that we were talking about how Busta Wolf stuck the spike during the orbital strike when he probably shouldn't have. But I think Agi there with a spike that had to readjust because of the orbital strike. Probably should have stuck it through. So a little bit of odds and ends here, ladies and gentlemen. The balance zero-sum game for a lot of these chance plays and these split-second decisions. But yes, we are on match point, 12-8. But you know, four rounds is something that FEU can string together here. Kin very aggressive on his raise that round, really looking to end the game there. Probably was in his mind. Just I'm gonna swarm heaven, does take it out, but lose to those clipping his behind with the paint shells. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is game number 1 of our final day here at the AcadArena Division B. Super interesting to see how these two teams have sort of really grown throughout this tournament. And I would love to as well see how FEU can sort of rise up and probably potentially get that rematch against MGS. You know, we're talking about a lot of these potentials for rematches against who they faced last week on day number 2. As we do see, though, Agi reconnecting to the game. Game is saved, and possibly the win for them if they're able to string this round together. Aside from
Yep. Well, here they will be met with as I was saying a while ago, 2 ultimate ready team as well as full gun fight for the side of FU who is defending. But you know, we'll never know how CSP handles this. They do have Vandals and Sheriffs, right? Oh, but wait a minute, Haji disconnected once again. This is tough. Dude, we have 2 techs. Once it's unpaused, what is it? I don't really. It's kind of murky. For DC, yes. So they do have, it is a running time on 20 minutes. But
Yep.
it's going to be depleted by multiple disconnects right here. But
Come here.
they will have to move back to the site, right? They will have to move back to the spawn rather, because they may have been found out, right?
Yeah.
You know, we're not saying people are watching the screen, but you know, we're just preventing that from happening. 5-man push onto A would have been a
little bit tough.
seen.
Yeah, would have been our plans are full. But I mean, speaking of plans, though, I'm not sure if this will change once Agi reconnects. But we do see, and I'm really liking this from them. Even if it's match point, they are not forcing the issue. They'll say, you know what, we'll hold our economy here just a little bit. Let's have them play on our tempo, because if we do force and lose here, we're gonna be in that eco, and that might spell your doom, and suddenly it's 12-12 and we're in overtime. So a little bit of a composed choice, no? A little bit of a composed choice here from CSB. Really great play. Really great to see them. Again, what's really interesting is that both of these teams are new AcadArena Alliance organizations, right? So showing here in this tournament for a lot of these teams who are new to the AcadArena Alliance, showing that they are here to make a statement, show them that, hey, you know what, we deserve a place here.
Yes,
and I'm really liking the fact that this first game is a little bit close between these two teams, right? Of course, CSB getting the better last week, or rather on day number 1 against their opponents there with a quick 2-0 sweep. But here, yeah, FEU giving them a run for their money, which is what we like to see. Of course, I am a fan of Ice here, honest Killjoy. I've been watching his games. A little bit of a bias.
A little bit of bias there. But yeah, Ice on 100% pick rate on Killjoy just shows you how confident he is in his abilities in using that certain agent. And as we see here, Agi will now be reconnecting back, and hopefully he will not disconnect anymore. Fingers are crossed. But as you were saying, this is going to be a proper hold onto the economy, not forcing the issue, not forcing that tie right here from on the side of Romantic Gaming, and they are in match point. So that still is a big pressure onto the side of FEU. Like any mistake they do may result in them falling in game number 1.
Yeah, and not even a mistake. You know, sometimes it comes down to lucky peak, right? Just that little bit of an off timing. One drops a little too early, and that is definitely the pressure of match point here. But looking to assert even more pressure as Lost Boy with a very aggressive teleport onto site behind that smoke. But Ice, so patient, just holding on to this position. We've seen how this shot can be a big impact, and is able to take down Lost Boy for it. Does some pot damage on Agi.
Spike down A.
Courtesy with another paint shell. That's his 3rd paint shell kill this game. And it is a 2v3 situation now. A little bit of those ecos probably coming into play there, being the difference in that push. As now, you know, Kin and Agi have to be thinking, can we even still address this with four players from the FEU side holding down so many angles on this area right now, and the spike is all the way inside the site right now. Again, a very aggressive play from Lost Boy unfortunately does not pay off there. Appreciate the ambition, but it does put them in this precarious spot, Saifu.
Yep, if Ice was actually in a different spot, not in Flower Pot, not hiding behind Flower Pot, that may have been a different story for them, because
30
of the
seconds left.
great rotations, or rather great teleportations coming in from Lost Boy. But unfortunately, he was there behind. Was shot. Lost Boy was shot down by Ice. Now Skin gets a kill on Verns, sorry. And he gets another kill on. It's still gonna be a 2v2. The rest will be up. Exclusive skill on Agi. Confirmed that they will come there as well. Just beyond 2 health will fall to Tsunami. 12-93. 3-round deficit still doable. FEU may just be doing it. Renaissance.
For sure. I love how Lucid and Tsunami played that situation. Of course, they were losing their teammates on Heaven, but you know what? They still held that crossfire. They knew that regardless of the situation, even if it from a 4v2 against a 2v2, if we hold this, we stay on top, and that is exactly what happened for them. And you're right, it's 12-9. 3 games for this team is not a lot, and suddenly now, as we mentioned, last round, they opted for a save. This round, they are on their full buy. So very crucial round here for both teams, obviously for FEU not losing the match, but you know, this can easily turn into a very slippery slope for CSB if they don't make it happen here.
And they do manage to get that ultimate work to Kurt. That reach ultimate, which is very, very important when you get that cone shape and that I don't know, it's so good, right? So now they do have the tools that they need to enter into a site. So what will they do? Lost Boy will be
careful
there with a spike. I am excited for this. The pressure is on for both teams. The pressure for Romanson Gaming is not losing their lead, not losing their match point. The pressure for FU is not letting them you know, fall to game number 1. Will not find anyone. Aji will get out. Sorry, will find someone. Will find her. It's gonna be a perfect advantage right now. Lucid without showstopper will not be fighting or will not be finding anyone there, as run it back will be shot down. Will this be it? 4v5 here. Spike will be planted, and I don't know, the control for FU, they're not finding it. They're not having a good grasp onto this site, as CSB Romanticon Gaming have a great grasp onto it. Moving in, Lost Boy will kill Blade. Lucid gets okay, not gonna be an even 3v3. Tsunami gets a kill on Lost Boy. It's gonna be a 2v3 right now. Man advantage for FPU, but he gets a kill on Lucid. Will be traded out by Tsunami and Ice. Will finish it off with kill on Festival. 12-10, just 2 rounds before overtime. Oh my goodness, now CFP will be falling to go for an eco. And this might just be it. The next chance to fight a full gun fight will be at 12-11 if they do lose this one. Oh my gosh. Crazy Renaissance.
Yes, we had that, especially when FPU weren't, you were right, they weren't connecting on their util, they weren't connecting on their ultimates. It looked like almost that that was all she wrote, but Lucid saving the game there with a very ambitious jump down on the side and is able to take 2 with them. Tsunami following. I think, my gosh, Lucid and Tsunami have just been playing off each other so well. It's so great to see when 2 players sort of are just in rhythm and sync with each other, able to check those corners very methodically and able to save the game. You're right. They're on an eco. This and with Verts with an operator too, this is a very, very tough round for them. And suddenly this game is super duper tight.
Yes, sir. And as I was seeing in the chat, Rosa ult right there from Lucid, who redeemed himself. Diba? It was a Rosa ult. He didn't get to find anyone with that showstopper, but he managed to win that round with very great coordinated attack onto the backside of B. Now it's gonna be 12-10, saving here on the side of Romanson Gaming. They do have 4 ultimates up. Kin, Lost Boy, Agi, and Busta Wolves have their respective ultimates, but the lockdown is prepared for that retake as well as the team retake. FU has the advantage in retaking here. Will get a kill on Agi. A quick kill on Agi there as a curveball will go. And will not have anything left. Lucid will get a kill on Kin. Lost Boy gets a kill on Ice. Now it's going to be a
30 seconds left
for the defending team and the team that wants to be going for this overtime. Oh, Lucid gets a kill on Courtesy, but will be traded out by Busto. Whoops, no, sorry. Will the kill on Blade and Lucid will get the 3K. Right now it's up to Lost Boy. Damage their economy just a little bit, but
Wow.
10 seconds left.
10 seconds?
I have the
Question mark? 8 seconds? Now he'll just go for the hero play right here, but Vern will be able to find Lost Boy with that operator. The first operator of this match. We haven't seen an operator. Yeah, we haven't seen an operator right here. They may be, they're bringing out the cheeses, you know, the cheese track. Finally putting out an operator right here. We'll see where that operator will hold, trying to get that quick early match advantage. But right now, this is going to be the last round before either an overtime or a Romanson Gaming whip.
Goodness. Lost Boy with a really great play there. He was able to use his ultimate and catch the Screams player in ice with that Bucky and got that Phantom and did a little bit of damage. Of course, it's not as much of an impact because they're already on match point, but this does put, this would have put FPU on an economy round. But nevertheless, you know, here we go. This is potentially the last round or the first of many in overtime, especially with these two teams showing how quite evenly matched they are, no? As even still more evenly matched would be their ultimate economy here with both showtoppers being in place. We got a lockdown though from Ice for a possible retake. Both resurrections, so early deaths. We gotta see the use of this resurrection from, for instance, Agi here. The timing and the quality of the resurrections here may make a difference. As Lucid again with a questionably timed ultimate, they weren't really pushing that hard, and it's not able to get too much value from that. I guess deterring them is part of the value.
The time taken to go back and force them into this garage where an operator will be waiting for them in the second first will be getting a wall bang onto Courtesy.
30 seconds left.
Make him fall right there. Now, goodness. The flashes will be coming in. The paranoia also. Oh my goodness. Quick Kin with a kill right there. Busta Wolf getting a kill as well. Courtesy got a kill. It's going to be a 4v2. This might just be Romanson Gaming's win. But there will be a lockdown coming in here. No ultimate coming in from the side of Blade. That's gonna be it. 4v2. They're not gonna push it this time. But one will stay there. Lost Boy will get a kill on Blade, but will be traded out by Ice. That's gonna be 1v3. It's up to Ice to get this into overtime. It's looking tough.
Turn out.
Looking tough right here for him. As Courtesy will finish it off with a headshot on the
Attackers
ice.
win.
13-11. CSB getting that game number 1 win. Struggled a little bit, Renaissance. Struggled a little bit. Almost one round away from overtime. But, they finish it off. They saved their ultimate. They saved their guns right there. They go for the force buy when it was 12-10. Opted to go for that really just non-ego play
Yeah.
by going for that eco. Eco. But there, Lucid was the kill leader with 28 kills. But Kin and Courtesy, this just shows how important the team play is, right? Romanson Gaming, that's where they excel. Not taking anything away from FU, they did go for those great team plays as well. Lucid and Tsunami, a great combo, but Kin Courtesy also a great combo. So we're seeing the better team play right here.
Yeah.
So what were your thoughts on that game, Renaissance?
Yeah, it's a lot of those sort of clutch moments or just integral moments to any round, right? Those retakes on defender side came to who was playing off each other the best, and we really saw there. I mean, like you said, this wasn't a shutout by any means. FU played really well as well with with Lucid and Tsunami playing together, and it's really great to see these two teams sort of just play off each other, play off their backs there. Kin, though, I think he had 2 rounds there where he really took over with the showstoppers. Lucid, though, I mean, we're not going to talk about the head-to-head with those showstoppers anymore, but that's okay. Nevertheless, that is game number 1. With that tight game, I think that does signal to us that we have a bit of a match today, Saifu. It's going to be a swarm. This isn't going to be like day 1. It is going to be a good, juicy, long game here at the final day of the AcadArena University Alliance Cup. It is Romanson Gaming versus the Apex Miracles. And I don't think they'll need a miracle necessarily to pull another match. It's got to play a little bit tighter there. I think they had the right ideas going into that game, but they are facing Romanson's pick now. They are going on bind. So we'll see how comfortable Romanson is on bind, especially with picking it. But I do see how Apex Miracles, especially with the way that they play, especially sort of with Lucid, if he picks up another raise there, could be very, very strong for him on that map.
Yes, sir. And before that all happens in game number 2, when all that action happens here in AcadArena Division B, we will see you because we're going to be taking a break. We're going to let our players rest. They're going to be having some time to strategize, as we said, and on to game number 2. Apex really needs this one to get into game number 3. But Romanson Gaming looking strong. They were super strong. They were 12-6, but they caught up. So FU still has that on them. So we'll see you in 5 minutes. Bye, guys.